Nobody, and I mean nobody, likes waking up and feeling like crap, okay? I mean, you'd have to be nuts. So that's why you should get a ghost bed. You don't need to worry about that, okay? At Ghost Bed, you'll find made in the USA mattresses with premium materials and backed by 20 to 25-year warranties. Plus, take 101 nights to break it in with their sleep trial. Listeners can get 30% off mattresses, plus two free pillows, or 40% off Ghost Bed bundles with a mattress and adjustable base. Use promo code Lewis, Lewis, at ghostbed.com/Lewis for a limited time. This could all go horribly wrong at any minute. Hello and welcome to Lewis Black's Rantcast number 118, entitled "The Chicken Says Happy Valentine's Day." The chicken isn't here to say Happy Valentine's Day because the chicken is out celebrating Valentine's Day. Unlike myself, he takes great joy in it, and he may or may not be back next week. Um, I am going to apologize for the fact that I have not been here, and I'm thrilled to be back in my lovely cable access studio and to be able to spend some time with you today, and on Valentine's Day, no less. Oh, my heart goes pitter patter, but I am really sorry that I've not been able to be hosting these for the past few weeks, and I really want to apologize to those of you uh, who had tickets to shows that I had to postpone recently due to circumstances really that were beyond my control, and I will um, maybe discuss these at some point. I'm not sure, but it has not been the year I've been looking for, really, and it's just fucking started. Okay, and we've already. If I had actually would go back and through the rantcast that I missed to discuss everything that has happened uh, since since I disappeared. Um, I, I'd be dead by the end. I'd go on forever. I would drop dead going through all of the nonsense, bullshit, and continuous. Are you kidding me? What the fuck is up that is happening in this country? I mean, it's enough this week. You know, of what we've have to deal with. I mean, it's Valentine's Day. You go to, and last night there's another mass shooting, and and you kind of go, are you kidding me? Up at the Michigan State University, it's completely. It's and they come out again the same litany of bullshit, the river of shit that spews out. It's enough. Um, Adults are not capable of handling these gun laws. Okay, this kind of freedom of weaponry isn't working the way I think that we thought it would, or that many thought it would. I mean, in that and most of us want to come up with something that it's something that deals with this problem. Not fight for the fact that we've got to come up with some sort of solutions that had been in place for years, and it's certainly at least maintain some sense of sanity. I mean, there's already been, like, what is it? We're 40 days or something, 44 days, whatever it is, into 45 days into this, and there's 60 some odd mass shootings, and once again, it takes place, and we're shooting kids. Largest cause of death among children. What does it take? How many facts do you fucking need before you get that you're going to have to do something about it? Okay. Every other country does. Every other fucking country deals with it on one level or another. We are really have got to stop it. We are scaring the fuck out of our kids. Send them to schools. It's tough enough to fucking deal with puberty, let alone have to go through some sort of a fucking training session of how to deal with a killer coming to the school, and that it could happen every day. What do they haven't been through enough with the pandemic? All right. If not, I it really seriously, you've got enough guns already. Enough is fucking enough. Okay, and it's starting there. But I could have done that probably every, God knows how many, that I could have discussed already. And it's kind of like it takes a little time off, and then boom, and that's when we come out again. And okay, we're gonna a lot of tears from those who want to change it and they're not, and and it's going to have to take the children uh, to basically be the adults, because the adults can't handle it. The adults don't know how to deal with it, and that's you know maybe you could say that's part of the circumstances beyond my control. It's like going through this stuff over and fuck over again. Um, and then every day from Turkey, the news that in Syria, I mean, Turkey, what is it, 35,000 are dead. City that just collapsed under an earthquake, and showing once again that there is a reason that the state should have laws. It's why you have a government, is to make sure that the folks that are doing the construction are using the proper materials. That the people the people who build the materials are it's all up to code. Okay, you need an example of it. Now you got it. I mean, that is the most that I've seen in my lifetime. When I was a kid, um, my friend Paris came racing into the living room. He was high on morning glory seeds. I can't go into the whole story, and um, busted into my house and into my parents into our living room, and raced and bounced on the couch in the what we call the TV dining room, and different time, and said, I guess it was in there'd been some earthquake in Chile, and if I'm remembering this right, and there was 400 or so people who died, or it was anywhere from 235 to 400. And he couldn't stop laughing, partly because he was high on morning glory seeds, and partly because he couldn't fathom it. Couldn't fathom it. Well, I wonder what he's doing today. You can't. You just kind of sit there and look at that. And then every few days, there's a bit of good news, and how these people survive under there, and those stories. Whew, I mean, and that's a daily. That's part of our daily bread now. If you don't see it on the TV, you get it on the phone. Which eventually I'm going to have to figure out how to get news on my phone, because apparently it occurs a lot faster, and you don't have to sit through the cycle over and over and over again. The same fucking bullshit. They literally don't know how to do news. All right, they have no sense of it anymore. I mean, the inflation that is crippling us. They don't seem to know how to cover that, other than to say that the inflation is crippling us. They don't seem to know how to get to the bottom of it. Did the price of eggs go up because of the distributors, or the folks who have the chickens? Uh, there's no delving, and it's partly because they've dropped the financing for it. There's no local news. That's kind of dying on the vine, and it's those local papers going up in smoke. And maybe someday we'll be able to return to that and start to actually know what remember, really rediscover what news is. It's figuring out what the fuck happened and why. And we seem to have done it better in Turkey. We covered what happened there faster, in terms of that, the fact that the contractors and the construction folks had gotten away with murder, and Erdogan, the president, had voted, allowed this shit to happen, and that there were kickbacks to him to allow it to happen, and then and I could go through all of it much faster than I can go through the fact of any of the facts of why our tax system is in is inequitable in how they manage to maintain that. But that would be news, because we're at tax season again. And please, I wish you all a lot of good luck dealing with that. That's always, I mean, it's that should be done simply. Okay, there's no reason for that to be as crazy as it is, except for very rich people who need to do some stuff to work things around so that they're paying less than their housekeepers. So less in taxes than those they employ. And then there's the all of these flying, all these things flying out in the airspace. Initially, I thought that the one they hit after the one that was coming from the China balloon, which I thought was actually carry out, and that the balloon was filled with hot and sour soup, and that was the reason that they couldn't shoot it out of the sky. A lot of these people were upset about the fact that they didn't just shoot it out of the sky. There was fear at the Pentagon because of the civilian population that might be harmed by this, because hot and sour soup really burns, and it can, especially when it's maintained in a spy balloon. It's really unbelievable that they then in pictures of Senator J.D. Vance pointing his gun at the sky, and I am sure that there were people in their backyards firing guns into the air, and I bet there were some people, one or two of them around the country, and maybe even in Canada, who fired into the air, and the bullet came down and hit him in the head and killed him. Who knows? It certainly wouldn't see it on the news, not unless a lot of people were doing it and a lot of people died. But it has been, and then more of them show up. All of a sudden, this is like a thing, and the Republicans are all up in arms about it. And why didn't he shoot the thing? And then he's trigger happy for shooting the ones out of the sky that were there, and there had to be a reason, and it's not transparent. It's transparent. I had felt that from the beginning, and still feel possibly that it's aliens. Why not? Why wouldn't it be aliens at this point in time? Huh? Why wouldn't it be them? There's a certain possibility that it could be them, because we have reached that point in time where you go. There's a balloon that's like 3 football fields long, and it's spying on our missile defense system, which is going to be obsolete when we start sending poison gas balloons at each other. This is, but I was really, they think that these things that we're talking about them as being some sort of balloon. But the first one they talked about, they said it was it was flying. It was not they didn't describe it as a weather balloon or a balloon. And I thought, wow, can you imagine if it really were? It could be the time they show up and come in peace, and we're firing them out of the sky, and they have all the answers we need. They're the ones with the cure for cancer. They're the ones who could bring back our loved ones who passed away. They're the ones who know where heaven is. And we just blew them out of the air. And would Nikki Haley, who's just announced she's going to run for president, would she be able to do a better job with these? Maybe communicate with them. I don't know. But it sure seems to me the way things are going, and the kind of insanity that we are living through, it wouldn't seem that strange to me. Aliens showing up. Not at all. Not fuck at all. I mean, the Dallas Zoo is another example of, are you kidding me? Going in and they kill a turkey vulture. Not, I don't know if it to be made, but they killed a vulture that was on the endangered species list. What do you go kill a vulture? I mean, and then they're stealing tamarin monkeys and keeping them in, you know, in some sort of, a house. They've kind of been um, housing somewhere. They're housing the monkeys. We got Americans who can't find housing at this point. Um, but it was, well, they may have hit them in condemned housing, so that, but is there that much money in monkeys that you sneak into a zoo? Um, so why not? I repeat again, why not aliens arriving? It makes as much sense as anything else. That's for sure. And 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 is and I forgot at the beginning to 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 bring up just the insanity of inflation, um, and and capitalism that kind of helps create it in part. I don't know how come since they're numbers that I don't understand how come it can't be if we take a little away from there. If they make a little less, profit wise, which a number of them have been making a huge profit, and and allow the American people pay a little more. Well, how come we can't find some sort of common ground in which this is solved? I have always had trouble with capitalism, and I realized the other day one of the reasons, and this is when I was young. I was very young when I stumbled on the reason that I have so much trouble with capitalism. It was when I heard, and it was repeated again, which is why and I don't know why it's taken me so long, 118 of these rantcasts to get it out. I've talked about uh, what I feel about the way in which our economy runs. I have, uh, I have, as I've pointed out, I think time and again, I've always had some trouble with capitalism. It just doesn't seem to know how to make things equitable for people. Uh, that it doesn't seem to have some sort of a mechanism within it that allows folks to live their best lives, because economics at some point comes into play here. And the thing is that I knew this, and I was reminded of this recently um, when I finally kind of stumbled on it while watching. And they kind of mention just in passing, and they should mention it all the time. That the problem that I, that the big problem with capitalism is that in order for it to be at peak efficiency, we need a certain amount of people unemployed. And because we have 3.5% unemployed, it's too low. Well, what kind of a fucking economic system doesn't, doesn't bring into play a full employment economy? Huh? How fucking nuts are we? All right. I just, it's ridiculous. We need like, it's 5.2%, and then it would just run perfectly. There's got to be a way to do it. One of the things might be to figure out the immigration problem, which will be fun to watch this Congress deal with. Oh boy. And we can listen to them scream about it and get nothing done. That would allow people to come in and cover a lot of the other stuff that we seem to need to be done. Um, you know, uh, some would be more intelligent than us and could do things that are important that need to be done, and we're trying to get out of the countries in which they're not allowed to do them. But I could go on and on. But since this is my first time back in a while, I'm gonna leave you alone and, and give you time to really enjoy your post Valentine's Day celebrations. And finally, before I go, from the week, I think you'll enjoy this. An 88-year-old man arrived at a French hospital asking for help in removing an 8-inch long World War II artillery shell lodged in his rectum, causing a bomb scare and an emergency evacuation. After determining the shell was inert, doctors removed it. Wow. You got to wonder why. I mean, if there's 1,000, no, there's maybe, I don't even know what he would say to them. He's 88. If you're 88 and you're shoving a goddamn bomb up your rectum, wow, that is a rough day. It's an artillery shell. God, shoving an artillery shell. Could he have done it? I'm all you can do is kind of stare into the sunset with your mouth agape, going, whew, 88, huh? I guess the fun never stops. It hasn't today for me. I hope you've enjoyed our time together. I certainly have. And I think you're really going to enjoy the rants you'll be hearing tonight. They come from Tarrytown, New York. And once again, an incredible job done by the folks there. And let me just say, it's been a pleasure being back with you, even if it's through a screen. And it's meant a lot to me. And thank you for spending this time with me. And go out and spend the $44 billion we're supposedly spending on Valentine's Day. I hope you put your money down on that, and that you had a lovely one. This was lovely for me. This is my Valentine's Day, and it's been a pleasure spending it with you. Take care of each other. Good night. Look, there's a lot of stuff that I hate in this world. I mean, it's why you listen to the podcast, right? Maybe you agree, maybe you don't, but I know one thing that everybody hates. Boy, do I, and that's bad sleep. Maybe you're laying in bed just trying to get to sleep in the first place, or maybe you're a hot sleeper, so you're waking up dripping in sweat. That's why I'm glad to partner with GhostBed. They're a family-owned company, and they've been around for 20 years, so they know what they're doing. My friend Charlie got one recently, and he loves it. I mean, they just don't slap together mattresses like some of these other companies. They actually take the time to make a high-quality, made-in-the-USA mattress that's going to help you get the sleep you deserve, and it's going to last. If you're a hot sleeper, you'll want to check out the GhostBed Luxe, which is dubbed the coolest mattress in the world. Try out your mattress for 101 nights with their sleep trial. Shipping is free, and most orders ship within 24 hours of checking out. Listeners can get 30% off mattresses, plus 2 free pillows, or get 40% off when you bundle a mattress with their adjustable base. Use promo code LEWIS, LEWIS, at ghostbed.com/Lewis for a limited time. We are in Tarrytown, New York, at the Tarrytown Music Hall, built in 1447. It was built as a theater for some of the crew of Columbus's ship, in anticipation of them coming. Many were puppeteers. This is not known by many folks, but it's really, if you get a chance, it's well worth visiting Tarrytown. It's the kind of really, it's where you use the word bucolic, a word that I fucking never use. But you go out today and it's like, oh, it's aglow with Christmas, just enough to make my nuts ache. It is. I mean, it's really sweet if that's your fucking holiday, but no. No, all those lights say to a Jew is, we're having fun, and you're not because you're a Jew. Yeah, no, it really is nice. It is beautiful up here and always has been in the ancestral home of a comic who passed away, who I love dearly, Kevin Meaney, who Great. But let's move on before I start saying other things about this village. Well, it's the kind of village, really, that you go, wow, I should live here, and then you do move in, and then you go, fuck, I shouldn't live here. This is from Colt West. I don't know if this is to make me angry or if Colt believes this. Why can't I text and drive? Everyone does it, and I'm really good at it. And I've been doing it for years. Sorry that some people suck so much at driving they crash. They should put on my license, certified good driver. Okay, Colt. I will try to avoid you. We drive in this tour bus, and you look down, and everyone is fucking texting and driving. And it's fucking insane, right? We can't we can't do anything about the weather. We could do something about that. Okay, this is Michael Houston. Why should Michael Houston, a waitress in her 60s, have to serve booze to screeching, boomer-hating millennials? What did I do to deserve this? Something horrible. It must have been horrible. I'm really sorry. I won't say what it is, even though I know. That's my other job. And on other weekends, I work as a psychic. This is Dr. D. I'm coming all the way from Utah to this beautiful town, Tarrytown, New York. My beautiful kids brought me here as a birthday present because they know how much I like your humor. You're the only person I tolerate to listen to the F word. I guess you were so sophisticated, but you use that word. Thank you for your humor. It helped me put a smile and feel better in some difficult times in my life. Anyway, it was an expensive trip, so you better be good tonight. Well, I hope so. Jeff Riek, or Ryek. What makes me nuts? Well, where to start in the life of two teachers from just up the road from the Tarrytown Music Hall. We're both teachers who are in the middle of the shit show that is social emotional learning and diversity equity and inclusion culture wars. We teach in a very woke community. Okay, fine. That's fine. But we're watching a colleague who, instead of doing her job teaching kids to read and write, is having high school kids color for Diwali or Diwali, which is the Festival of Lights. I looked that up, and I wouldn't even fucking know. It's an Indian Festival of Lights, which I didn't know we were in competition. Just a week ago, the same person posted a sign on the outside of the classroom door that asked, how do you feel about celebrating Thanksgiving while living on Lenape land? I think it's Lenape. Let me see. I feel fucking great. I went to the casino, lost $500 on the craps table. You're welcome. Joe Herbert, this is quadruple vax COVIDiots who are all in against the Sackler family, the Oxycontin folks, and Big Pharma in general, but are either so fucking stupid or experiencing so much cognitive dissonance they cannot admit they were played by Big Pharma. Okay, Joe, did you get a sense of how you quieted the audience? Now, I understand you wanted to get this out. What I'm going to say that will help you in your Big Pharma argument is don't compare a vaccine to Oxycontin. No. Okay? There are plenty of fucking documentaries that you can look at. There was actually a virus. I don't know, you may have missed it. But there was. And so that vaccine was done in response to a virus. It was not done in terms of coming up with something that would kill pain. And then when it was discovered, look, as far as I'm concerned, from what I know, I am a real target for that fucking shit. And if they could fill my fucking bathtub, Joe, with the goddamn vaccine every fucking day, I'd be washing myself in it. I don't care. You have to realize it's a huge advancement. Whether this vaccine works as well as it should or not, it is keeping people out of the hospital. That's a fact. But just as important is that this is a step in terms of what the next generation of vaccines will be like. And that's just a fact too. And really, if you get a chance, you should read about it. Because it's not big pharma, it's like a couple of fuckers who spent their whole life, and it took them fucking time. They worked in an office and said, I think we got an idea. Fuck you. And they finally got it through, and we're lucky that they did. And in the end, it was the former leader who, it was his idea. We'll get this done at warp speed. So if you want to yell about anybody, yell about him for getting it done at warp speed. We could be still waiting for it, and you'd be at home tonight, and I'd be watching the game. I wanted to read this for a while. This is because we get stuff from all over the world. This is Miguel Narciso. Greetings from Portugal, Louis. I, like most Europeans, follow U.S. life and politics closely. Not for direction, but just to see what to look out for. Yep. Post-World War II, you were seen as an example to thrive for, but you steadily evolved into a source of bad ideas. One of the things we cannot possibly understand is how little the average American must know about other countries to eat some of the crap your average Fox News host spews daily. So, from a fan of you, both you, Louis, and the United States, here's a few tips. One, the fascists recently elected in Italy, and yes, the party that heads the coalition is fascist, are not as far right as some of your MAGA representatives. Yep. This is another country. When another country talks, listen. I'm serious. They watch us. You know, our center-right parties would be considered extreme left in your political spectrum today. Russia invaded Ukraine. If I hear another American ask for Ukraine to surrender, fuck you. Would you give Alaska and its people back to Russia? It's sad to see the country that helped getting rid of Nazis now being one of its ideology spreaders. 5, there are a total of 0 families that went bankrupt because of medical bills in the EU. Even our fascists know they cannot touch that. You get an economy based on free market. You also get treated when you're ill. I'd like to thank the USA for Dick Gregory, George Carlin, and Richard Pryor. We still love you. And P.S., the way you managed to turn a well-regulated militia into guns are more available and as easy to get as gummy bears is also astonishing. But this rant was sad enough. That's Miguel Narciso. That's not somebody who's woke. That's somebody who's sitting in Portugal. And I've been to Portugal. Fuck, it's great. It really is. They had 16% unemployment when I went there. 16 fucking percent. And they were happier than I've ever seen us be. They were fucking ecstatic. God, I could go on for a day. You'll see I'll do a thing about it at some point, and I'll just talk until I pass out. This is from Lou Steinberg. I'm going to end with this because it's sharp, quick, it's to the point, and I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. It's been a pleasure spending time with you. Next week, we're doing the Rants Friday in West Palm, Saturday in Orlando, and Sunday in Sarasota. So if you want, for those watching, get your rants in. And this is from Lou Steinberg. Why did someone think it was smart to sneak a gun past the TSA in a raw chicken? For those of you, that actually happened. Someone tried to get through TSA and hid the gun in a chicken, a raw chicken. The fact that some of you aren't laughing now, it may be time to go home and say night-night. Was taking the raw chicken on the plane not a giveaway that something was off? Thanks so much, Tarrytown. Have a good holiday. Take care of each other. See you again soon. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me, Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcast.